All right, good morning, everybody. So what did you think about that show? In the field directly behind me was that Tom just out there kind of blown up and giving a good old show for what looked like another Jake probably, and a couple of hens. There was some further back in the field that you might not be able to see. That's one thing I love about living in the country. You wake up and see things like that. So we had just woke up. Tiffany and went outside to walk our little dog. She come back in all excited. Check this out, check this out. So got up out of bed, peeked out the door, and there's that show going off out there. If I hadn't been so busy this year, I probably would have already did a little turkey hunting, but we'll save that for another day. So this video is not going to be a continuation of the fencing video. We've been working hard on moving everything out of this camper so the insurance company can get it over to the new camper. And that's what I'm going to have to do again today. We worked all yesterday, and I mean all day long. We're wore out, we're tired. We still got a little bit more to do. You just don't realize how much junk you accumulate in your life till you start moving. Here we are in a little camper, and I'm thinking we don't have much in there. Oh no. Well, apparently we've got it tucked in every nook and cranny. So it kind of makes me want to reevaluate on getting rid of some of this stuff and what the heck are we doing accumulating all this stuff. But we'll save that for another day. So today is going to be one of those all over the place type videos, and typically I don't post those. You know, I worked all day yesterday and didn't record none of that because it just seems boring to me. However, whenever I do post those, do a little work here, a little work there, just random thing videos, they don't get a whole lot of views, but they tend to get comments of people saying, hey, I love videos like this all over the place. So because they tend to get comments and people seem to enjoy them, today is going to be one of those. So we're going to finish unpacking this camper. There's not much in there. I'm going to do a few outside things. I'm going to give a quick little garden update because I've been starting a lot of videos with that here lately. Sorry, it's kind of shady from the camper right here. Hopefully that doesn't stunt the growth of this stuff here. I've been kind of concerned about that, but it does get a lot of sun during the day. Got to get the last of the cabbages out because fall garden is long since been done. Peppers are starting to bloom and do great. I'm starting to see, look at there, got little bell peppers. They're coming. Pretty much every pepper plant I see has little bells on them. This zucchini that I stuck over here, even though I have a lot more in the main garden, it's blooming out nicely, starting to get real big. I hit it with a little bit of fertilizer just a while back because this bed doesn't have a whole lot of compost. Everything's greening up nicely. Myers lemon, lime's doing good, loquats, peaches, man, piles of blueberries back here. I've got a lot of stuff to plant. Now, I've been giving y'all updates on the propane weeding that I done. You can see it starting to green back up. I figured after I burned it off the first time, some new tender growth would come back. So I'm going to sweep through this again real quick, probably the next day or two. And I've got to continue to kill all that off. So it looks like it is going to take at least 2 sweepings to get everything dead. But I think that will do it. And I can go really quick this time. If you watched where I replanted the okra, it's doing fantastically well now. Look, I mean, everything has come up. So that lets me know the first time I planted it, I just planted it too deep. And these okra are coming up so quick now, it's about time to get out here and go ahead and thin them out again. So it looks like I'm gonna have a really, really good stand of okra, which is great because we love eating this. One of our favorite things that we look forward to every year. The few pepper plants that made it through the tornado, they're looking good. They're starting to finally get some good thick stalks on them. And the wind's not affecting them as much, although there's a few that are still broken and bent and they're trying to live. This garden box looks great as far as pepper plants go. And you know my favorite, look at this. This corn is just, man, this corn is loving this compost. So really excited about eating some corn. Although we've been getting some extreme thunderstorms the last week or two. I don't know how it's doing in y'all's part of the country, but thunderstorms about every 5 to 7 days, we're getting crazy thunderstorms. I hate to even say it, but we're still a little shell shocked from the tornado, and we're out there living in that old wobbly camper, or we are until today. We just moved into the 5th wheel. But the structure's compromised on the one that got hit, and the jacks were tore loose underneath, so every gust of wind you feel in there. So the last couple really bad thunderstorms, we've actually got up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and whenever the bad bands were coming through, and stayed out here in the shop, you know, just got there and sit in chairs and kind of chill out. It's getting a bit old, but you know, we don't feel comfortable, especially in that old compromised camper. So it should be gone in a couple days. I got to talk to the insurance company, and hopefully this new one is a lot more rock solid, and it should be. So we can kind of feel a little more comfortable in these thunderstorms. But I don't know, y'all seeing an increase in them in your part of the country? Because here, man, it's I mean, they've been like 60 to 75 mile an hour wind gusts, hail, tornadoes. It's just a crazy start to the year on thunderstorms. All right, enough yakking about that. Squash and zucchini's looking fantastic. There's a couple of them I replanted that I got to go ahead and thin out. But they're looking really good. I'm really excited about the potatoes too. They're all starting to come up. There's only a couple spots I see that didn't come up, and I think I just got to give them a little longer. See, yep, like there's one coming out right there. So they're coming. Potatoes are looking fantastic. I am still absolutely struggling with this bed. I don't know what to do anymore. I planted every cucumber seed I had. None of them could come up no matter what depth I planted. I'm starting to really think I just got some bad seed. I might throw something in here real quick. I had a viewer that was telling me about doing cantaloupes on a trellis. So I may put 1 or 2 seeds here, let them grow up, and see how they do on a trellis. Just in my mind, old heavy cantaloupe seems like it will pull off the vine, but I've heard of people doing that, so that might be something to try here, since cucumbers just don't seem to work. A few beans that I planted, not many of them came up. They're kind of struggling too. I've replanted, so I'm still waiting to see more signs of life. And I've got beans planted all on the other side, so hopefully some of those will come up. The 2 new beds that I built, I threw some cantaloupes in them. I had to replant one time, but they're starting to come up great now. So I'm seeing my little cantaloupes popping up everywhere. So I need to go through and thin those out. Looks like they all made it on that second planting. And this other new bed, I just threw a few more pieces of corn in there, or little corn seeds, a few beans that are starting to pop up and come out. Still, the beans aren't doing too terribly great over in this one either. I'm only seeing just a few coming. So maybe I'm doing something wrong with the beans. If you got any tips on planting those, let me know. These are bush beans, Roma bush beans. It's pretty nice when your plants that you buy are already producing. Look at the blueberries. Pretty good. We get clay silt in our water here, you know, and I don't want to complain too much because we still have good water, but it just gets that old kind of clay powdery look to it. So I have to run these filters, and probably gonna have to run them the rest of my life. I even had the well drill a little deeper at one point in time. We're 160 foot deep, which is crazy deep for Florida. I think our last well at our other house is like 30 foot deep. But I just can't get past the clay silt. So luckily these are really cheap. I think I pay $2 per filter. I change them out about every 2 months. And then on something like the camper, I'll go ahead and run a camper filter at the other end of the hose too. So it gets double filtered, and that clears the water completely up. So that's just the way it goes. I know a lot of y'all probably have hard water too. At least we don't have a lot of sulfur. We don't have iron, which stains everything. So I'll take the little bit of clay. I got to get all these cables loose from the camper that I had around the frame. So I got these 4-foot earth augers in the ground, and that's the only reason in my mind that this camper didn't flip in that tornado. So I always put these on when we bring it over here because it's hurricane state, and it's been over here through a couple of hurricanes. But so glad I had those on that day. And I will be putting these on the new camper and any camper we get in the future. Now I just got to dig them out the ground 3 feet. Woo, there's one of them. 5 more to go. Alright, there is a couple of these that are just too much underneath the camper, and I can't get these augers out. Especially like this one in between the tires. That one in the back's all the way underneath the camper. That's because whenever the storm hit, it actually blew this whole camper over quite a ways. So I'm gonna see if the old tractor with the forks will pick this camper up, move it that way, go around the back, get underneath the frame there. It's a real solid frame. Camper's totaled anyways, but see if I can move this thing on over so I can get these out. So let's see if the old tractor will lift it and move it. Well, that's one way to do it. Luckily, I was able to pick the front up of the camper with the forks and move it back just far enough that I could get the tractor in here and do it the right way, hook up with that rear ball mount that I made. Back it right out of here. Now I can get these out of the way. I didn't have to move all this equipment with the forks. That was the main thing there. So, boy, it looks different not having a camper in here. We'll get the last of these earth augers up. I'll pull the camper back in. That way we can hook it back up to power while we clean out the last couple things, and then call the insurance company to come get it. Then we're gonna have us a nice open view once again after I rearrange all this mess and stick it somewhere. You'll have to excuse the noise. Tiffany's in there vacuuming the carpets. Well, not vacuuming. What is that thing called? The Rudd Doctor, steaming the carpets, cleaning them. She's going to town on this thing. Noticed my camera hadn't been sending me pictures in a couple days, so time to change the batteries out. I don't know about y'all, but I like running the camera year round and putting a little corn out. It's just neat seeing all the stuff that still shows up. It's part of owning a property like this. Plus, like the pictures of that big bear I've been getting, I mean, he's huge. Would have never seen that if I hadn't been running the camera because they're so elusive. Plus, watching all the turkeys like you see in the beginning of the video. There's always something down here in front of the camera. Foxes, rabbits, squirrels, a little bit of everything. Well, I tell y'all what, I'm probably going to wrap the video up here. Hopefully y'all didn't mind kind of one of these all over the place videos. You know, this is just a glimpse into a day in my life. This is what I do every single day. I try to stay busy, find stuff to do. And I know a lot of y'all have noticed that based on some of the comments. You know, I'm non-stop. It's just the way my father was. It's the way it's been beat into me. And I don't like sitting still. We don't really sit around, watch movies, hang out inside much. We have the rare day every now and then we'll do that, but I want to be outside. I want to be productive. So this was kind of one of those days. Plus, I got to go back and do some very boring stuff that I'm not even going to record. Change out some door handles on the camper and you know, finish cleaning out the old ones. So boring stuff like that. We're going to try to get on the fence over the next couple days. Got to head back into work here in a few hours, so that's going to really tie my time up over the next several days. But I'm starting to get nervous. Stuff's popping up, looking good, and it's probably looking really good to the deer, so I've got to work on a fence. There's already been a lot of rain, like I talked about earlier. They're calling for a couple of solid days of rain this week, so that's going to interfere too. But we'll get it in as best we can. Like I said, I'll probably include a couple of different videos of me putting a few posts in, doing a few random things. Then I got to get to bed. Next day, we'll probably hang some wire, stuff like that. So I'll break it up. And then I'm kind of looking forward to building my own gate. That should be kind of neat. So I got a little pocket hole jig coming for that. Something I've been wanting for a while. So that's going to be interesting. We'll try to get that knocked out by the end of the week or first of next week. We'll see how it goes. Hope y'all are staying happy, safe, and healthy, especially with this virus running around and all these severe thunderstorms. It's been crazy. I know a lot of y'all been getting it real bad up in the Carolinas and further up north. So hopefully everything's good in your neck of the woods. Thanks for watching.